Nicholas Ruto lives in excruciating pain after he was allegedly shot while grazing cattle near Mount Elgon National Park, a sprawling 431 square miles in eastern Uganda. Ruto, 27, counts himself amongst the 15,000 people that constitute the minority Benet indigenous community. The grazing community was evicted from the national park in 1993 when it was gazetted by the government.
There's one day when we are grazing along Resettlement area called Gapsekek. War people came there and start shouting to us, telling us that, hey, you are grazing in this maize plantations around here. This place is not longer this is a national park. Although you are living around, this place is a national park, so you are not allowed to stay and graze in this land. We start now like chasing our cows towards where downside. Automatically, they saw us taking cows. For them, they are realizing that, hey, you are running with the cows. Yet for us, we want money. For them, they want money from cows. We run now with the cows. I see automatically shooting me from behind, coming up in the right hand side.
Mr. Ruto, whose large intestine was severely damaged and cannot ease himself, told NTV.
And I have my children at home. My kids are now also suffering due to have no energy now to help you.
The Benet originally lived in the lower plains of Kapchora, Bukwo, and Queen districts, along the drought and cattle-rustling prone border of Karamoja sub-region. Part of their settlements and grazing fields were inside the national park until they were evicted, receiving 6,000 hectares of land. These were reportedly grabbed by impostors.
Many people have been killed and tortured by rangers. We are born from this land, we grew up here. As LC1 chairperson, I am not happy about this government.
Ms. Firis Shemos, whose son Clinton Kiplimo was shot dead, aged just 19, says his crime was grazing the animals near the park. A case was reported at Bukwo Central Police Station and the file was transferred to Mbale High Court.
I want to abandon the case because it's becoming expensive to the family. Going to court and hiring lawyers is very expensive, yet the case has stayed in the court without ruling.
Mr. Alex Yesho, the chairperson of the Benet community, says that people have lived on the contested land for all their lives.
So we have here a very big problem, and it is not a short story about this land. This land of ours, given by the government, and it is still under temporary settlement. All these places, it is now categorizing to be a national park.
The community has an emotional attachment to the forest since it is the final resting place of many. On October 31st, Prime Minister Robin Nabanja invited some officials for a meeting to discuss the cabinet directive on the proposals to resettle minority tribes of Uganda. Cabinet constituted a committee under my leadership to discuss proposals to resettle the Batwa, the Bambuti, Benet and other minority groups in Uganda in the Changwali and Nachivale refugee settlement. The letter reads in part. However, locals headed by Mr. Yesho declined to be resettled in the refugee camp, claiming they are not refugees.
Whenever our community tries to access our ancestral land for resources and cultural issues, they face a challenge of human rights abuses such as shootings, torture, the issue of impounding the cows, as well as the arbitrary arrests. We pray that we need what we call the dialogue so that we bring these issues to an end. And one of the issues which we need to bring out is the issue of joint conservation, indigenous communities to be involved in the conservation.
Mr. Fred Toskin, 49, another victim, said he was shot by rangers as he was coming back from the trading center.
There was an alarm by people in Gapsekek area. where we tried to see what had happened. These soldiers, the rangers, managed to shoot me with their guns.
Mr. Yesho told NTV that the area is enveloped by insecurity.
They arrest you, you come at home, you send your relatives to home, they can sell land, the little land you have, then you can rescue you from the station. They pay now money to the station for these work guys. At times, if they quote you, you don't have money, they can beat you.
He further revealed Uganda Wildlife Authority rangers have a torture house in the area where all unimaginable horrors take place.
They sell these people used to stay in this house here. They can take you to their small house inside, then inside that house there is a hole inside, and they tighten you, put you into that hole up to tomorrow.
Maket Koroz, an elder, says they are getting a lot of threats from Uganda Wildlife Authority rangers.
When we are in this community of mine, there's a lot of threats from more people. Even recently, they jumped to LSC chairperson, wanted to beat him, then chairman ran away. Even there is a councillor also wanted to rescue people in the station. We go on these people who want to arrest the councillor, then councillor also ran away. Even the chairman is now saying, we don't have now any way of communicating with these war people.
Alex Augustine Zakayo, who works with Lobby Group, an NGO, says the community has been neglected.
The distance that the pregnant mothers walk to access health services is quite a great distance. You've realized that we do not have, the community does not have piped water. At the same time, what makes it very challenging is that there is no electricity.
Hope Atohaire, the resident district commissioner of Queens, says the office of the Prime Minister is looking to resettle the affected people.
Most of them are not really happy for being resettled, being taken to some other place, because they get information from the MP. He updates everybody. But for them, they want to remain in the area. What they're interested in is, let us have a line where everybody can know I'm stopping here.
The RDC also says her office is investigating allegations of extortion.
They get the money, but they don't give receipts. And you know, they have areas which are distant, the collecting centers. Yeah, now, if someone looks at going, first of all, to move to the Kapkwata at the center, or to move other collecting centers which are distant, they say, but after, let's give the money. And those become serious, and they insist on going on getting receipts. They say, if you want receipts, now the problem. They bundle them, put them to police, put them what. And now that issue of that corruption component is which should be also looked at.
Ms. Bessie Ajilong, the RDC of Buku, however, said the community has failed to respect the jurisdiction of Uganda Wildlife Authority.
The communities have failed to respect that jurisdiction of war. They have refused to understand that is a gazetted entity of government. So in that process of that backward thinking, that is their land, they go there, they enter there with the animals.
For the issues of human rights abuses, we pray that let it stop and we go to the dialogue way in order to harmonize and bring this conflict to an end.
The Buku RDC further disclosed that some communities have violated the law by planting opium in the park.
Communities are violated to an extent. When we went for an operation, we found Njaga. It's called what? Opium. Yeah. About 5 acres of opium in the conservation area recently when we conducted an operation. And this is actions of the community.
She also revealed that a recent shooting was prompted by an attack on Uganda Wildlife Authority wardens.
It doesn't intend to shoot.
shoot at them.
No, they don't deliberately shoot to kill.
So that time they shoot and they kill, but no
They have never killed. They only shoot to just to injure. Maybe in the process of what? Running away. Then those kind of things land on them. But it's not deliberate that they are, you come and they shoot. No, there must be an element of confrontation.
A 2021 report by the International Work Group for Indigenous Affairs, a global human rights organization, reveals that for several decades, the indigenous Benet people have formally petitioned for the return of their ancestral land atop Mount Elgon. It also highlights a landmark victory in October 2020 when the Ugandan government issued a memorandum of understanding which granted the Benet people regulated access to various resources within the park, including cultural sites and cattle grazing areas. Mr. Samuel Amanya, the chief warden of the Mount Elgon Conservation Area in eastern Uganda, says protected land has been encroached on.
In some districts, we have serious illegal grazing, where livestock, particularly cows, are taken to the park to graze, and in the process, they degrade the land because cows are many, which threatens the park from serving its functions or its purposes that it was established for.
Mr. Amanya also accused the community of carrying out illegal activities like illicit logging for charcoal and often attacking Uganda Wildlife Authority rangers, which has led to loss of lives.
In the process of enforcing the law in the park, which is the jungle, which is very dangerous for every ranger that operates in, we use tools and weapons to guard ourselves or to help threaten the communities who have committed crimes, to arrest them. In the process, as I said, the communities also attack. In the process, rangers defend themselves. Defending themselves involves shooting in the air to scare the attacking communities. But sometimes communities continue to advance to attack the rangers, as they have done before, injured and killed. In the process of shooting, sometimes the stray bullets get some of those rioters